All right, what is up, everyone? My name is Nestani, and today we're going to be running Lunistice any percent glitchless. Just a couple quick things about glitchless is that essentially regular any percent uses a glitch with the menu that basically skips Act 2 of each world. There's 7 worlds with 2 acts each, so you basically skip half the game, and we as community thought that was a little lame, and so we want to play the whole game, and so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be playing the whole game, and then on commentary with me today, I got my good buddy Jax. Jax, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Jaxler. I've been running this game pretty much since release. Currently second in any percent thanks to this guy. But also, I also run training as well. I'm really, really excited for this. This game rules. It's only, we'll mention this as well, only $5 on Steam. You need to play it, and Nestani will prove to you why.
Yep. And then real quick before we hop in, crowd, I need some help with you. Do we do pink or gold? Can I get a hand for pink? Any hands? What about gold? All right, looks like pink won. All right, we're gonna do pink. Woo! And then we're gonna get right in. So timer's going to start when I gain control of my character. So we're gonna go, and we're gonna skip this, and we're gonna 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so the first thing that you're gonna see from Nestani right off the bat is something called a spin jump. This is where Nestani inputs a jump and then a spin attack a couple of frames later. Nicely done, that's really, really hard. So basically Nestani has to put a spin input after a jump a couple of frames later in order to get a boosted jump that gets you more height than the jump and the spin in complete isolation. And so at the very start of the game, you know, the levels are pretty straightforward, so we don't have a lot of ways to update our lateral velocity, but what we can do is use those spin jumps in order to take really big cuts out of the different parts of the level so that we just don't have to run as much of the track. So there's another good example of a spin jump right there that's gonna take them to that red platform. Normally not possible otherwise without the use of that technique, and Nestani's gonna come in here at a 43. That's really good. That level is very, very input dense at the start, and you have to be, we'll mention this later, but you have to be very careful not to rush the inputs or else it'll just not work.
Yeah, and as we approach 1, 2, again, as Jack said, we're gonna be using more of the spin jump to just cut out and around this entire loop-de-loop. And also a part is that the attack also acts as a triple jump. So we have 2 jump resources and an attack, and so we can use them in isolation for basically more horizontal movement rather than the vertical movement from the spin jump. And then as we round this corner, it's a thing to note, we can step on the crystals. But the thing is, we actually can't stand on the crystals for too long because they'll actually break underneath our feet. And we do not want that because, I mean, then we'll have nothing to stand on, right? And so to get around that, basically we just jump off them relatively quickly. You can stand on them for a little bit, but they will eventually disappear. And then one thing to note as well is that the first 4 levels are a little chill. It's just mainly just making sure your lines are tight and concise, because essentially at the top level, you're not really going to lose that much time in these levels, but if you bleed even 0.2, 0.3 seconds in each of the levels, and you do that for the first 4 levels, all of a sudden, you know, you've lost a whole second and you're really far behind. If you're obviously that's only super, super top level, but we're gonna end that with a 107, which is exactly where we're
really good,
be.
yeah.
And then we're gonna head into World 2. So World 1 is just kind of like this kind of intro thing where we're gonna basically make our through, and then Act 2, we have a scene change. So now we're on the beach. And so the beach and each world in general introduces new mechanics of the game, and obviously new art and new music. So as you can tell, we're definitely on the beach. We got the beach balls, the umbrellas, and the first mechanic we're gonna see is these blue bubbles. These blue bubbles go along this dotted track, and normally we wanna wait in the bubble until pretty much all the way through the track, and then right there, those beach balls act as bouncy platforms, which we'll touch on more later. But again, with these blue bubbles, essentially what we do with them is that we wanna travel along the whole track with them, because traveling along the whole track with them, essentially, they move us faster, they move us a bit faster than we normally would. So we generally like to take the whole way through. And then what you're about to see up here with these beach balls, as we take this last blue bubble, we're gonna make our way over here and we're gonna go under this checkpoint. And then essentially with these, we can use our attack just like that and essentially do a spin jump-esque type thing just off the bouncy balls. And with that, we're gonna reach the end of 2-1, and then we're going to go into 2-2 after we take this very last one, and we're gonna jump right into the goal. 116, exactly where we want to be.
Yeah, perfect. And so you're gonna wanna pay attention to the start of this level here, because this is gonna be another really good example of just how much you can break vertical platforming sections with this spin jump.
And so right here, we're again gonna attack as soon as we land on here to get the vertical boost, and then we're gonna skip some of these, jump at the apex, and then right there on the edge of that umbrella. And then I'm just gonna let this speak for itself. We're gonna do some movement right here.
Nice, let's go. That's a really hard movement segment right there.
Yeah, and so right there, you actually notice I intentionally didn't jump on that beach ball. That is because one thing we didn't mention about these blue bubbles is that they conserve our momentum. So essentially, we would have been shot straight up 21-21 if we went into that beach ball and jumped into the blue bubble. But now for the rest of this level would be a great time for any donations that we have before we get to the mid-game gauntlet.
Absolutely, we just got an $800 donation from Deke64.
Yo!
Yeah, let's go, DK.
Woo!
They say, hey everyone, Lunistice developer here. It's always been a small dream of me to go to GDQ as a runner one day. But instead now, Nestani is showing off my little game on the big stage. I think I can live with that.
Yeah.
Best of luck to Nestani on the run, and huge shout outs to everyone in the Lunistice community. Hi, Discord. And everyone who helped me along the way to make the game into what it is today. And thanks so much to everyone for just obliterating that incentive. As a little thank you, I do have a small bonus announcement.
Ooh.
Get ready for this. I'm happy to announce that Sean Chiplock, voice actor of a little-known character called Rivali from a little-known game called Breath of the Wild, will be playing the role of Axel in the final version of the update.
Yo,
let's go.
That's so sick.
Keep up your great work, chefs. Less than 3. Let's get some hearts in the chat.
Thank you, DK.
Let's go, DK. Thank you so much. And then as we go into 3-1, this is where the game really starts picking up into this mid-game gauntlet. So again, new world, new set of challenges. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go across these crystals, just crystal to crystal very quickly. We're gonna go up to this tree just so we can get enough height and and horizontal movement to make right to that crystal. And then World 3 introduces us to railing, similarly to like Sonic and other games from that era. So what we do, there's a launcher at the end that normally puts us on a set trajectory. But what we're gonna do is that we're gonna break that trajectory by using our spin attack. And then if we do this correct, we can land right there. And then that is a very, very tight jump. And then it also introduces us to these hyperspeed platforms. These hyperspeed platforms just make us move a lot faster. But a thing to note is that when we land, we kind of grind completely to a stop. And so at the end of this rail, we're going to again shift our trajectory to basically conserve our momentum over here. A thing to note with that as well is whenever we use our attack after a booster, we do conserve some of the momentum from the booster, so we move a bit faster for a bit longer. And as I mentioned before, we grind to a halt once we touch the ground here, but if we jump immediately, we get to conserve some more of that momentum from the hyperspeed platform before we slow down back to our normal speed. And then as we approach the end of 3-1 here, we're gonna approach these loop-de-loops. Now normally there's like a little hands-off kind of cutscene thing, but if we do this properly, we'll be able to cut it just like that, and that saves around 2 seconds off the run.
Yeah, otherwise you just have to watch the cutscene.
Yeah, otherwise you die.
Or you die, one or the other.
And then as we head into 3-2, we're gonna do a trick known as Crystal Jump, and just in general go into the mid-game gauntlet. And fun fact, Crystal Jump was actually put in by the developer himself, DK, and I'll let Jax take over.
Yeah, so this trick is brutal. What Nestani's gonna be doing here is using the shadows that are cast onto the water rail to do a very specific spin jump while holding backwards. This is gonna get him up and onto the crystal, and that's really, really hard. That saves about 40 seconds off of the track, but we're not even done yet. We're gonna go onto this hyperspeed platform, and then as soon as we get the speed boost, jump around the side of it, and this lets us catch the water rail at the end from the other side, skipping even more. Then from there, we've still got more. We're gonna jump to another rail early by just jumping off of the previous one. And then we're gonna make our way to the very end of the level. This level takes several minutes casually, but we're gonna beat it in under a minute here. One more skip that we're gonna do a spin jump off of that railing, land on the top railing right there, and then use our jumps to conserve our momentum into the booster. That was really well done.
And now we're at the end of the level, under a minute. This is the fastest level in any percent. So really, really cool stuff.
Yeah. like a top level runner can get like a high 56. That was a 57 mid, which is really, really good.
Very good.
And if it didn't get ridiculous there, we're going into the hardest world, which is World 4. This is where we get introduced to rhythm platforming. So you're gonna see 4 music notes on the bottom of the screen, and every beat of the song that's going on in the background here, every 2 beats, it'll swap colors between red and blue. And depending on what color is active, will determine what platforms are in phase or out of phase. And so what Nestani has to do here is do very, very specific movement to catch this platform right here. And this is gonna set up for a really difficult but really hype-looking cycle at the very end of the level. So Nestani's lines here have to essentially be perfect in order to make that cycle. Now, that being said, this level is really hard, so everyone knows the backups for this level. So even if something does go wrong here, not a huge deal, really easy to recover. And that's kind of one of the fun things about like getting good at this game is like learning how to recover from really tight situations, especially because we really don't grab checkpoints in this run unless we're using them for shenanigans. And so right here, Nestani's gonna avoid all the obstacles by going on the side railing, which isn't normally intended. Then we're gonna use the green crystals right here, dodge over the rolling pins, and then hopefully, nice, we got the blue platform right there, right before it got out of existence. Very, very tight window, and you have to go through a minute of the stage with perfect platform manipulation in order to get there. And if that wasn't ridiculous enough, the next level is even harder. That was a 117 too. That was real.
118.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you baited.
But that is perfect.
That is basically perfect. All right, so we're gonna need quiet from the crowd here because this entire level is ridiculous. Nestani is gonna start with a spin jump to land on top of a piece of the decoration in the background that moves with the beat of the song. And then he does a very specific setup where he's midair over that red platform and then starts moving so that he's at full speed as the platform appears. He's trying to make a very tight cycle called 4-2 red cycle. And similar to the previous strat, if he makes this, he'll be able to catch a red platform right as it's about to disappear. Let's see if he gets it. He got it, let's go. That is so hard. You have a very short window to do that. And not only that, there's still the entire rest of the level going on here. So the reason why hitting that strat is so critical is that other hazards, such as that object we jumped off to do that skip, as well as the spikes, all cycle in and out depending on the beat of the music. So we got like a double time section here. All of these spikes are just an absolute nightmare to deal with. But now that Nestani's on this perfect cycle, he knows exactly where all the platforms and spikes are going to be here. Nice jump right there. And then we'll get a checkpoint here. So we'll get a little bit of room to breathe here. But this is a good time to mention that we are playing on the current patch of the game, and this is one of the most important, this level is one of the most important reasons why. Because DK actually added additional platforms and difficulty adjustments to some of those. That strat's really hard. I can't actually believe you hit that. But you'll see these graham cracker platforms around the Jello Springs here. Those were not in the original version of the game. He actually added those to the game in order to make this level easier because this is by far the hardest level in the entire game. No contest. So we got one more strat coming towards the end of 4-2 here. Nestani's still going damageless here. We're gonna do a really tricky looking, more difficult than it looks jump where he takes the green crystal and kind of has to do a quasi-blind spin jump. You can't know where you're gonna land until you land it, so you just have to believe in yourself. And Nestani just had a perfect World 4. That is unbelievable. Let's go, dude. This run has been so good so far. And it's about to get better because we're going into my favorite, I think both of our favorite worlds, which is World 5.
World 5, all right. This is definitely my favorite world to do, not because, only because of the music and also just the art style is just beautiful. And also, it's really fun to do in the innocent category. And so we're just gonna do some little platform skips here, and we're gonna go into some more railings. Now, these railings are similarly to World 3, just reskinned as tree branches, and then the boosters in World 3 are reskinned as these little purple launchers. The thing to note about the purple launchers is that we can land that jump, and then also we can enter them from anywhere, so up, down, left, right. And then the beach balls from World 2 are back, reskinned as pink mushrooms. And then an extra property of these railings that we have to activate them, and essentially it sends this tree branch to grow after we hit the golden little, what do you call it? The golden mushrooms, there we go. And then we're gonna do a little shortcut there, again, keeping all momentum after the hyperspeed platform, using a spin attack in order to get some extra height off that pink mushroom, and then cutting back and then getting on the tree branch that's growing. And if you notice, we're running on air there.
Yep.
That is because once you hit the tree branch, it's fully grown out already. So if you beat it, you just get to grind on air for a bit, which is really, really cool. And so as we go here, we're going to make sure our lines are pretty tight, and then we're going to do a relatively new trick added to the run very recently, found by, I believe his name is Gavin in the Discord. Shout out to Gavin.
Shout out to Gavin.
We're going to see if I can do him proud here. It's a little tight, and so what we're going to do...
Just jump, wait for it.
Oh! That is not what I...
We saved it, okay.
Okay, oh my goodness.
So, that's still faster.
That is still faster. But it's not what we wanted. So what happened there is that if I don't reset to neutral properly, sometimes I can just get thrown off of the railing, and it was kind of a miracle that it saved me there. Normally what happens there is you just fall off and die. So it's fine. We still got a 203, which is roughly around the OG time that you want. Yeah,
that's still really, really impressive.
Normally that jump is like even bigger though. Like normally you go all the way to the back platform, but unfortunately I just very barely misinputted it just a little bit, but no worries. But now we're gonna get into 5-2, which is arguably the most interesting level in any percent. This is because there are 3 branching paths, and there's essentially a part 1 and a part 2 of the level. So this first part of the level is the beginning, and basically in the top right hand corner of the screen you can see 3 teardrops. We need to activate all 3 in order to get to the second half of the level, which is above us. And to get there, essentially what we need to do is hit 3 of these little crystal things. And so this is the only level that is non-linear at any percent, and what that means is that we can choose either of these 3 paths to go down. So we're going down this one first, because essentially what we're going to do is that we're going to activate 2 of these in one go. And so what we're going to do here is that we're going to take a little shortcut here, because these pink mushrooms carry our hyperspeed. So we still have our hyperspeed, and then we're going to land right on this platform, and then we're going to jump all the way down here, and then make our way over here. And then this is the first instance where, well, I guess first and only instance where we're going to use checkpoints. And so I'm actually going to hit this checkpoint and then turn immediately around, do another spin jump, and then I'm going to jump over here. Normally you're not supposed to be allowed to go over here until you activate a railing, but we can conserve some of the movement from the hyperspeed platform and then go right into that booster. Again, not touching the ground, because if we touch the ground we lose our speed. And then we're going to go over here. And then if I do that just like that, we can, again, not land and go right to the railing. And then what we're going to do here is that we're going to hit this guy, and then we're going to reset to checkpoint. And this will take us back to the checkpoint that we activated earlier. We're going to jump back on this hyperspeed platform, jump on this railing, and then all of a sudden, we have 2 crystals back to back. And then also what you're going to notice is that there was no music for a while. That is by intent. And now there is music again. But what you're going to notice is that it's a little out of sync. It's a little out of whack, and that's because whenever you activate a crystal and then you pause and reset the checkpoint, it just kind of breaks the music. So everything's just a little bit out of time as we make our way to the last one.
I feel a little bit bad for DK, because I know he's been trying to fix that for like 3 patches.
It's been forever. I don't know why the music's still broken. It's kind of just a little. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, that is that. And so we're just going to try that again. Luckily, we just got a checkpoint, so we're just going to go back and do the same movement.
Yeah, you get to see this really cool spin cancel off of the purple right here into the spin bounce off of the mushroom right there. And he actually holds neutral there as well, because if you hold too far forward, it actually kind of does some like weird stuff with your speed, as well as you kind of like hit the wall in a weird way, and you usually don't quite get over properly. So you hold neutral there for just a second in order to make sure your angles are all properly set up.
Yeah, and then as we make here, we're gonna just cut to the right here, and then we're gonna make our way and go to the final little thing, again, using our spin attack to keep some more momentum, activate the last teardrop, and then if we do this correctly, we can make it here in time to enter this as soon as it appears. Oh, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. If you can enter it quick enough, you can actually become Big Hannah. But unfortunately, we didn't get Big Hannah. We're just regular Small Hannah, which is unfortunate. But essentially, what happens there is that if you enter the blue bubble, in the first couple frames that it activates, the bubble's actually growing. and so you'll also grow, and then you'll just be huge Hannah. Unfortunately, I was just a bit off on that, but it's all right because we're just regular size Hannah. It's just a little funny. It doesn't really offer any speed things or anything of that nature. It's just funny to see big Hannah, but
yeah, and the music desync is also, as you probably noticed, getting way worse because we've gotten that third music track in and did another reset the checkpoint. And then we're going to be coming into the end here, so.
Yeah.
Awesome job.
Now we're going to head into World 6, which is the start of the last 2 levels of the game. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to go into 6-1, which if you've been noticing, we started on the beach, and then we went to the amusement park, and then we went to a food area, just ignore that one. But then we went to the high up in the treetops, and now we're on the mountain peaks. And so if you've noticed, we're kind of ascending. So kind of like the lore of this game is that you are ascending upwards throughout the game as you make your way through. And if you and then the mechanic that World 6 introduces are these little geysers. They can shoot you up. They can also shoot you horizontally, which you're about to see here. And we're going to do again another cancel here, where we're gonna make our way over here.
Nice. That's really dangerous because the enemy right there, like, it's very easy to hit them when you're trying, because you want to like get the most speed you can, but you're also still trying to land on it and not hit the fellow.
And then here's the last major trick we're gonna do in this. Unfortunate. Ideally, you want to land right on the little side of that railing there, but now would be a great time for more donations through the rest of this level and into the next one, I bet.
Sure thing. I've got $100 from Limp007 that says, to see Lunistice run here is so surreal, to be honest. I witnessed the creation of the game from start to finish, and now it is run here. Nestani, good luck to you, and thank you, DK64, for making this wonderful game. I've got $20 from German Ginger that says, good luck on your run, Nestani. Thank you so much for representing our community and showcasing this amazing game on the GDQ stage. You got this, man. Also, massive shout-outs to a Grumpy Fox for bringing us all together by making this gem of a game. Greetings from Germany, Chef.
Thank you, Chef. You can keep going for probably like 2 more.
Sure, I've got $50 from Frostum that says, sup, Nestani, it's awesome to watch you up on the big GDQ stage. Good luck, you got this.
Thank you, Thomas, that's my boy.
I've got $500 from Qua Noir that says, did you know Lunistice is donate to a good cause spelled backwards?
I didn't.
I thought it was only $5 on Steam.
All right. And then now it is only $5 on Steam. And now we're going to make our way through 6-2. And before I butt out of the way for pretty much the rest of the run here, we do have a little bet here. So if I hit the next trick that we're going to do, it's the hardest trick in the game, and I'll let Jax describe it. But if I hit this, I'm going to donate $100.
Yeah,
and if I miss it, I'll donate $50. But ideally, we hit it so we get $100 more.
And you also got the strat right there where you jump on top of the checkpoint thing in order to get yourself into the purple booster here. So what's this trick we're talking about here? So this is a checkpoint skip where you have to do, it's by far the hardest trick in any category ever. You have to do a perfectly timed spin jump and a perfectly timed jump after that spin jump. You're doing this off of a platform that is angled at 45 degrees, so you have to approach it from a different side than you're trying to go. The landing platform is a nightmare, and you also need the right amount of coyote time to get this work. So there's a bunch of different things that need to go in your favor to get this right, but if you do hit it, you save 2 seconds. So let's see. Oh, so close. Not super big deal to back up there.
Unfortunate. I really wanted to hit that one.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially because that platform is tilted away from you as well, so you have to catch it from the side in order to make it happen. And that's like, if you hit that during a run, that's where like the run becomes real, if that makes sense. Like, and then this jump over here as well, also terrifying, just because like you're just floating over a void without knowing where your drop shadow is until you get there. So really solid 6-2 as well. So now we're going into the final world. We're almost at the end of the run already. Still a sub 2, nice. So 7-1 is one of the sickest levels in this game, just because there's a whole bunch of cool strats and a lot of hyperspeed movement going on. we're gonna see at the start an introduction to a new level mechanic with these purple platforms that don't give us hyperspeed, but don't also cause us to lose hyperspeed. So we're gonna just have hyperspeed going up this ramp here, and he's gonna cut some corners here, and then we're gonna see one of my favorite tricks on the run, where he's gonna do a spin cancel to redirect his momentum off of this launcher, do a really delayed jump here, bunny hop here to conserve momentum, into a spin jump to make the railing and skip a bunch of platforming there. And then right here, he's gonna do another spin cancel a little bit late and intentionally take damage, which is gonna reset his jump and spin resources, which allow him to skip another section of the level, and then he can do a really precise jump there to skip just, there's a lot of switchbacks at the start of this level, and we just skipped like all of them. And it's really good how quickly he's getting through here too, because it meant that all of those moving lasers were on the perfect cycle, so he didn't have to worry too much about them. We're also getting introduced to these disappearing platforms, which, like the purple ones, conserve your hyperspeed, but you know, as the name might imply, they disappear, and it's terrifying. So he's gonna do a specific setup right here so that he bounces around the tree friends. Those are by far the most terrifying enemies I have ever seen in the video game, because they like to, they are out for blood. I'll just put it that way. And he's gonna do another spin cancel right here over a bit of this railing. Some railings are actually just slower than the momentum that you would get by doing a spin cancel off of ramps and stuff like that. So it's on a case-by-case basis, but in that instance, it's actually faster to do that spin cancel there. And then he's going to be making his way through this checkpoint, probably going to grab it for safety, just because, nope, all right, you're beast. He's going to go right over it, which is very risky because we're going to go through a very long section here where we're basically going through the solar system. All of these planets here will actually cause him to lose that hyperspeed as well, so he has to be like, he has to do some really funky movements on the stick there in order to sort of get around them. And then on top of that, he has to deal with the hyperspeed blocks here. And if you notice, there's that little green aura that emanates from the sides of them. Those are actually physical hitboxes, and they have ended runs of many, many Lunistice runners. So you gotta be really careful at what angle you're approaching, and generally most people take them safe, but you know, not Nestani, because he's the GOAT. And so we got a couple more corner cuts right here into the last stretch of disappearing platforms in the level, and he's gonna do a jump spin jump here in order to conserve that hyperspeed for as long as possible, and then we're gonna make our way into the platform at the end of the level here, and this will be like a mid 235. That was really good. Really, really tough level there. Just a lot of movement stuff going on. All right, we're in the final level of the any percent glitchless run. This is 7-2. This is sort of a backwards trek of our entire journey up through this point. Each different section of 7-2 is a callback to a previous level and its introduced mechanics. That was a little terrifying. So this part is like the World 7 one. He's gonna take intentional damage off of these lasers here because he doesn't wanna have to jump over them, and the iframes will carry him through the second set. This is really important because there is a section that calls back to World 4 with the red and blue platforms that phase in and out of existence. And even though you don't see the icons on screen, they are still tied to the beat of the music. So Nestani has to make sure that he gets there at a quick enough time in order to make sure. So right here, we're gonna see a sixth strat. He's gonna jump through the checkpoint, spin. Didn't quite get all of the speed there, but what he's gonna do now is jump off the tree root in order to just get into the purple booster and skip the rail section immediately. Now, even though he had a little bit of a movement mistake there, he still should be on like close pace. Nope, not even close.
Nope.
Fair enough.
No,
I don't go for the checkpoint there, so I don't know what the backup is there. So not a huge deal. He can just kind of wait out the cycles a little bit there, but there's still some stuff that we can do here.
Yeah, that was the platform cycle that we wanted. I beefed the backup a little bit because essentially what you want to do there is you want to be a bit closer on that railing when you jump off of it to go to that purple booster. But we're still back on a cycle, just not the proper one. So we're probably in this level with a 221.
Yeah, which is, you know, still really good. And there's still a lot more cool stuff going on in the level anyway. So like right there, really big spin cancel, and he's letting it ride again as much as possible so he can get all of that momentum because your friction is just so dang high in this game. But we're gonna see sort of that momentum conservation property of Bubbles here one more time. He's gonna get hyperspeed here, do a spin cancel out of this purple booster, and land inside the bubble here. This is actually going to preserve his hyperspeed into each of these bubbles, which saves a bunch of time and movement. But the hyperspeed is also gonna let him like sail through the air and skip that green umbrella there as well. So it's a really nice little time saver. We've got two more major tricks that we're gonna do before we're gonna get ready to call time here. He's gonna do a really late spin cancel here to try to make the third of the three platforms here. Looks good, nice. And so now, that one's really scary because that's another one you just have to commit to. And then we've got one of the other bigger time stays in the run, elevator skip. So he's gonna do a spin cancel off of this purple booster, and he's gonna hit the side of the elevator. This prevents him from getting trapped in the elevator, which would stick him in a 20-second long elevator ride, and he just skipped it just like that. Anyone can do that at home, and we're already at the end of the game.
Yeah, and so time's gonna come up relatively shortly. We've been on our way to the moon, so we're about to beat it up. And so this section is basically, you can mess it up, but hopefully I won't. And then timer's gonna end when the screen fades to black. So it's gonna start glitching out. 3, 2, 1, time.
Dude, that run was really good. Awesome job, dude.
And then, thank you. Another thing is that this game is run on IGT, so let's just see what time I got.
That's
barely a 25. Let's go. That was my goal coming in, is to get a sub 25 IGT.
That's ridiculous considering you died in 5-2.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
And then now we're just gonna get ready for the incentive. And then the incentive is to play on a new character at Excel. And I'll let Jax do some describing.
Yeah, so 1.1 is coming out to be determined. And so it's going to introduce primarily a brand new playable character named Excel. So Excel kind of plays like Hannah with the 2 jumps and the spin, but Excel's spin boosts him forward really fast. So he essentially has like a dash midair every time you jump. And so that allows you to do some really, really fun movement stuff. And some of the new levels that you're gonna be seeing here as well, never before seen, are gonna show off some of that movement as well because it is required. So this is going to be a showcase of Excel gameplay through 4 different stages. We saw one of them already, which was 7-1. And then we're gonna do Tori's bonus stage, which is one of the other playable characters, as well as 2 brand new, never before seen levels. So I hope you all are ready for some Excel here.
Keep going.
Keep going?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, crap. You can't put me on the spot like this, dude.
Keep going, dude.
What am I supposed to say? I described
Just
this
keep
thing.
going.
I'll keep going. Yeah, so like Excel mode is really fun. Yeah, I'm just drawing a blank. So should I describe tech? I'll describe tech. So one of the things that's really
No, you're good. We're booting up.
Oh, we're booting up? Okay.
Yeah. I was just copying over some saves.
Oh, right.
All right. So now we're good to go. Whenever you all are ready.
Yeah, I think we're back, so we're good.
All right, we're back. All right, so we're going to go to Excel code. I was just loading up a save. And then the first thing you're going to notice as we get in here is that we're going to see something a little different. There's a hub board. And Excel, as you can see, his dash moves you really, really fast. All right, and then we're gonna start with one level that has been already teased by the developer, but we're gonna do it first. And oh, hey, look at that, start level chef. I wonder how that got there. All right, so this is gonna be a brand new level, and hopefully we just
We'll start time in 3, 2, 1, go.
Sorry, I should have did that, that's my
You're
bad.
good.
And so we're just gonna take a little restart. So I'm gonna try to make a little cycle here with these platforms. Okay, I'm just not gonna make that, that's fine.
You're
but
good.
As you can see, going up hills, we speed up a little bit. This is a bit jarring after playing Hannah for a bit, so we're just gonna...
Yeah, he's got to warm it. It's like a completely different way of playing the game. And so you're also going to notice right there as well that whenever you spin into a slope like that, it sort of it resets all of your resources, right? And so that allows you to immediately do another jump spin, which every time you do, like, gains you even more and more speed. And so we can do that off of slopes, and you're just going to hear it go like really, really fast in order to build up speed. And it can actually be used for some really cool strats as well. Yeah, welcome to stage 2. So all of the stages that are in Coder are essentially mixes of like 2 worlds together. So this is kind of like world 3 plus world 4. So we've got like the moving cycles as well as like a lot of the stuff from Park there as well. Yeah, and it's really, it's.
Oh, we're back here.
Oh, we're way back. We are so back.
Unfortunate, as the kids say, but we're just gonna.
Yeah. Also, I want you all to pay attention to the signs in the background. Some of them say Excel Coda, but there's a couple of funny Easter eggs in there. We'll see if you can catch any of them. But yeah, no, this part's really, really tricky. Something Nestani goes for here as well is he intentionally takes damage on the rolling pin, good lord, in order to, again, similar to that strat at the end, or at the start of 7-1, to reset his resources mid-air so he can do another spin. That's super crucial for this character because all of his movement is based on that spin. Can you just get this checkpoint?
Yeah.
Thank you. And so we're just gonna be
warming up.
Yeah, so we got SGDQ up there on the signs. Greetings from Germany on that sign back there, which I find really funny because I believe Deke is actually from Germany. So,
he is, yeah.
Which I find super hilarious. But yeah, no, these levels are really, really fun too. And even though you're seeing like a preview of them, you're not seeing all of them because one of the cool things about the new levels, the cool thing about these new Coda levels is that there's actually multiple paths. So obviously, speedrun, we're gonna take the fastest path that we've routed through here. But there's actually like a bunch of like hidden paths and stuff as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that spin jumping as Excel is really, really hard because you are propelled forward regardless of whether or not you're holding the stick if you do a spin jump. So if you want to do a vertically based spin jump and like not move horizontal, you have to hold back on the stick.
Hannah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just looking at the signs.
We'll see if we, there's an orb one over there. That's my favorite sign right there, the one that says Cope. That one's been in there since the teaser, which I appreciate.
Luckily, we just went through a checkpoint, so
yeah, it should also be worth noting that like all the like Coda levels are meant to be like post-game, like really like challenge levels. And also, again, just switching between Hannah and Excel is really hard to do on the fly, but we're out of the first level right there.
All right, there we go. A little rough, but hopefully we can make it back.
We're good. We're good.
All right, and so now we're gonna go to 7-1. We have 4 levels to basically show off here. And so we're gonna start level chef, and then if I do this correctly, you're gonna see me absolutely obliterate this level.
Yeah.
And a big part of that is because his dash, again, speeds him up, but when we're going up hills, it really shows off the speed. So hopefully, we just absolutely torch our way up there. And then similar to Hannah, we're gonna go up here, but we're gonna actually go to the top of that and just go straight over. And then we're gonna do another similar trick to Hannah as well, where we're gonna do the little boost again, but again, we get the boost there, and then we can build up our speed by chaining attacks together, which is another cool thing.
Oh, out of HP.
Unfortunate.
Oh,
I'm at the beginning.
Oh, you missed the checkpoint. That's why you don't skip
normally
the checkpoint.
Normally I hit the checkpoint. Normally you can actually hit the checkpoints from the side, but
you just believed in yourself so hard.
Yeah, I just believed in myself so hard.
I respect the hustle. So you get to see this again, which is really hype because good sounds. A little bit of an ASMR thing, I guess. I don't know.
Is it? I mean, maybe. But yeah, and so hopefully I'll hit the checkpoint this time. But as you can see, the big difference between Excel and Hannah is that Excel's not really meant for these stages, so it's really easy to just hit a bunch of enemies.
Well, you're gonna, okay.
Well, I'm not turning back now.
Well, you had HP that time at the very least.
Yeah, and that's one thing that is to note is that since you're kind of not meant for these levels, you will run into things a whole lot because you're just going way faster than you normally are intended to. All right, now we got a checkpoint. All right, we're good. Ooh.
I thought you were gonna overshoot the ramp there.
I did too.
Yeah, so you saw right there the boost kind of like appeared and disappeared. You actually have to be really careful with not going too far over the railing there because if it starts to twist, it just won't ever register that you landed on it.
Yeah, and it'll just like slide you off, similar to what almost happened in 5-1 earlier in the run.
Then we go, whee!
Oh, I need that. And then the only thing that's a little tragic about Excel is whenever you're going down slopes, you kind of just have to wait until,
so you get back to
so
solid.
You get down to get down before you can attack yet again. But whenever you're going up hills, it feels really good because you're also speeding up when you chain some of these together, which is a big property which we'll see in the last level that I do. And so, just for context, if I did this correctly and didn't beef this entirely, we would have ended this level in under 2 minutes, which if you remember, I did it with Hannah in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So we're like kind of just doing it about 40 seconds faster.
on average.
Yeah, on average. And then what we're going to do here...
We're going to go to Tori's next, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, we're good on time.
Yeah, you were very
cool.
good.
All right, we're very good.
We are so back.
All right, and so this is Tori's stage. So there are 3 playable characters in the base form of this game. There's Tuki, Tori, and Hannah, obviously. And so this is Tori's stage. Tori is a little duck that basically can only jump like 1 time, and then yeah, and so there's just a lot of bouncy platforms. And this stage is also really cute. I'm a big fan of the color pink, so it's just a very cute stage to play. And we're just gonna absolutely obliterate this stage.
This level has some of the like sickest like Excel tech. There's just a lot of places where you can throw in those spin jumps. Like you do that one around the corner with like no camera angle. It can also be really tricky to optimize because the hitboxes for the bouncies here are really, really small. So he's actually gonna walk that one out instead of trying to fit it
We're
down.
gonna say hi to this little guy. Just because he's a little guy. Look at his face.
Yeah.
He's very cute.
Look at this dude. Look at this dude.
And then we're gonna make our way
Thank you for
here.
getting the checkpoint.
Yeah, don't worry. I've got it. We're not accidentally bypassing checkpoints anymore. I've been meaning to hit a couple, but I just literally have been going past them, so that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, here's.
But we're gonna do a
skip.
giant skip. Normally, you are definitely not intended to be able to do this.
Yeah.
With Tori, or not Tori. Wait, yeah, Tori.
Yeah, it is Tori.
Yeah, it's Tori. Jesus. I'm just absolutely beefing it. But what we're gonna do here is again. With his spin jump, if you want to go more vertically, you kind of have to like pull back on it. So it's a really weird kind of thing in terms of like comparing him and Hannah, because he really wants to go forward, and so you kind of have to like pull it back, which is a little interesting. But we're gonna make to the end of the stage on pretty good pace. Should be a sub 150, and I do not have like. You know, I don't know how long it takes to do that with Tori, but probably not this fast.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go into the last stage to show off, which has not been seen anywhere at all. And so this is the combination of the beach and the shrine, the first 2 levels.
And the music here is just phenomenal. Really hard skip here, does a spin jump. Nice, he nails it first try. That's actually ridiculous. That's just sucks. It's worth noting as well that like only really Nestani has had the chance to like work on this and play this. So he's had to find like all of this stuff himself. So I just find it super impressive. Just like even with like the limited amount of time you've had to work on this incentive, just like how much cool stuff you've already been able to find with Excel. And it really makes me excited for when the full release comes out.
All right, so I'm going for a specific strat here where if I do it correctly, you'll see. You won't. I'm gonna reset this probably a couple of times.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what
Xbox
I hit
game bar. Hit the Xbox button.
Okay.
There you go.
There, I just hit escape. We're good. I must have hit a button. But essentially, if I do this correctly, we can skip this blue bubble.
Yeah, let's
just
go.
barely. There we go.
That is so hard.
And that's just a very good showcase of what happens whenever you chain your attacks and you speed up. You actually can't do that if you just plain dash into, if you do 1 dash into that bubble, you actually can't make it to the 3rd one. You have to use the slope in order to get up. And then I'm just using my dash here to just get to these boosters a little faster. And then we're go on this guy, and we're just gonna make our way over here. And I just want to point out that this level is absolutely gorgeous.
This is gonna be a computer melter. Worth noting as well for fans of the PS1, Sega Saturn area, that this game defaults to like the really crunchy pixelated like shader aesthetic, and it looks really sick. So I recommend playing on that on your first playthrough. Obviously, we don't like play that, most of us as runners, just for one because of bitrate, but also just because it's a little bit easier to see where we're landing on certain things, especially with the drop shadow indicator. And then we're gonna see a really sick moment to conservation right there. Again, it's really annoying to like try to hold back with Excel to like get him to go up things when you're doing spin jumps. So that was really impressive as well. And just look at this level. It's just so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much for meeting the incentives so fast. We were stressing about that so much, especially because, again, shout outs to DK. DK worked so hard to get this into a state for being able to present this at GDQ.
Yeah.
So we just want to give another huge shout out to DK for just making it an awesome game and also just, making us DLC for free.
Yeah, for free. Yeah, that is one thing. That this will be a free update coming to the game. So if you buy it for $5, you will get this update whenever it goes live.
Free DLC for a game that is $5 on Steam.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
come on.
You know.
Oh, the game's on Switch too as well. For what it's worth, we're just trying to convert everyone to the cult of Lunistice here.
We are. You know, after you're done donating GDQ, you know, you gotta buy
after
this
you're
game.
done watching the marathon, come join the Lunistice Discord. Like we said, like Nestani said in the interview. Time is about to come up.
All right. And time. There we go. There we go. All right, a little rough, but we got it.
We're in there under estimate.
We are. All right. So, but yeah, just thank you all so much for watching, and again, just thank you for being able to meet the incentive, because again, DK worked really hard on this. I tried to, you know, do a solid job of showcasing this as well. But Jax, you want to do any quick shout-outs before we get going?
Yeah, I want to shout out everybody in the Lunistice Discord, especially everybody in the speedrunning channel. For again, like we mentioned, we are in the official Dev Lunistice Discord. So please come find us and join us. We're a super welcoming and inclusive community. I want to give a big shout out to some of the earlier runners like Tortolino and White Knives for really pushing the early game meta on release. I also want to shout out some of the Hundo crew like Noxus and Betchy as well, because Hundo in this game is nuts. So there's
really cool. And then just quick shout-outs for me. I wanted to give a shout-out to two members specifically, Naglfar and Plush. Those are pretty much the IL runners, and all the strats you saw me do with Hannah, I basically just yoinked from them. They were the ones that really pushed the game like really far, and then I basically just brought it to the main category. I also wanted to give a shout-out to my buddy Jax here. He's the one who got me into this game in the first place, so I wouldn't be here without him. And then I want to give a shout out to my family, because it's just surreal that I'm here, man. I really didn't think I would ever be here on this stage. And it just means a lot to be here, you know, to represent the Black community, because, you know, we're here too. You know, this is a place for us as well as everyone else. You know, everyone out there, if you've ever been, you know, suspicious or just, you know, cautious of joining the speedrunning community, there's a lot of great people here. Plenty of Black speedrunners. Just come join us, come make this game, and just the whole community, whatever you want to speedrun, just come do it. And then, hello mom if you're watching. And then last shout out to my boy Ryan. I shout him out every time that I do this, because I wouldn't be speedrunning without him. Yep. And then, and yeah, that's my final shout out just to Ryan. I wouldn't have been speedrunning without him. And so just thank you all, and just thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the event, everybody.
Awesome. Another excellent run. I've got $5 from Akir Tora that says, Lunistice is the first game that made me try speedrunning. I wish good luck for the run and a great day, and it was such an amazing run. We're going to be right back after a short break, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2023. We're going to take a short break and hear from our sponsors next.
This is the GDQ Hotfix. Games Done Quick's diverse roster of shows that deliver a flavor of speedrunning for everyone.
But they do. Oh yeah, I forget. Here's like real gaming right here.
What is this RNG?
So we shoot here, grapple here, you shoot here. Oh, there we go, Okay. Yeah.
It has Voldemort!
No.
This is the duffel bag Ashley skip.
We got a PB!
Catch our streams every day on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick.
Mark your calendars. Flame Fatala's 2023, GDQ's next all-women charity speedrunning event, is coming up August 13th through the 20th. The Flame Fatales community will be raising money for charity and spotlighting the talented women in speedrunning. Volunteer applications will be opening on June 6th. For more information about Frame Fatales, go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales or type !FF in the chat. If you're a woman interested in joining the FF community, DM @FrameFatales on Twitter or head to our website. And folks, do you know what time it is? It's time for another interview with Mello and Covert Muffin. Take it away.